Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Welcome to another episode of Comment Foolery Exposed. In this episode, we're going to talk about how apparently all of the channels that have the word exotic in them are created as humbling tactics to women like Kelly Rowland, as well as other women who apparently don't fit the audience of these channels. I've told you guys before, our pedestal is in the sky at this point because if you think that a small ass YouTube channel like this one has the power to humble a multi-million dollar Grammy Award winning artist, that's incredible. But let's go ahead and get into the foolery. This thread says, Exoticals hating on pretty, unambiguous, darker skinned women. This girl says, these past few weeks have been a Kelly Rowland hate train. So I'm not sure how there's an actual hate train against Kelly Rowland, but let's get into it. She says, ever since Kelly Rowland has been setting boundaries and making big moves, people have been upset. So with all due respect, are you talking about the Tyler Perry movie that Kelly Rowland was in? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything because don't get me wrong, like that's great. But I'm not sure what these big moves are. I think people just get upset because I have said on this channel that I believe that Beyonce is a better artist than Kelly Rowland. And so people take that as, you're hating on Kelly Rowland because she's unambiguous and a dark-skinned black woman. And it's like, being unambiguous and dark-skinned is not a handicap. Why is it that every time someone critiques you, you tie it to dark skin? You tie it to blackness. That's actually a very anti-black internalized comment, but okay. She says, there were countless people saying she got a big head after starring in Tyler Perry's Mea Culpa. So this channel has actually never said that. I have never seen Mea Culpa. I heard that it got bad reviews, and if it's a Tyler Perry movie, I'm guessing that it probably has a hypogamous black woman in there. She's probably like a leveled up black woman in the movie who gets with like this dusty black guy. I have no idea if I'm on point, but just judging based off of it being Tyler Perry, we all know that Tyler Perry, he is like the poster child for promoting the light bill man. Tyler Perry is the one who said, even if you can get a guy and all he pays is the light bill, then like you should still be with him. So if it's a movie created by Tyler Perry, I already know what type of rhetoric they're going to be promoting in that movie. So I'm not sure why Kelly Rowland would get a big head after being in that type of movie, but if she is, I mean, go off. She says, furthermore, Kelly Rowland has been adamant about people not asking her about Beyonce in interviews, and in turn, some people think she should be grateful to Beyonce for even being mentioned or interviewed. Kelly Rowland is still very beautiful in her 40s and she's flourishing. Instead of praising her like others do Beyonce, near domination of a lot of musical genres, they want Kelly Rowland to stay in her place and be humbled. So first of all, who wants Kelly Rowland to stay in her place and be humbled? And also, what is Kelly Rowland's place? Because the last time I checked, Beyonce is making music and she's kind of doing her thing in the music industry, and Kelly Rowland is in a totally different industry. So do you see how the hierarchy mindset comes out at every turn? So this person on here is randomly bringing up they want Kelly Rowland to stay in her place, but she doesn't tell you who they are. She doesn't tell you what Kelly Rowland's place is supposed to be. So do you see how black women themselves talk about other unambiguous black women? Kelly Rowland seems to be living her best life. So what are you talking about? They want Kelly Rowland to stay in her place. What is her place? She's a multimillionaire. Why are you making someone into a victim who is a multi-millionaire Grammy Award-winning music artist because of her blackness and her dark skin? She says, many have even accused Kelly Rowland of bleaching her skin since she's now wearing blonde hair. Meanwhile, Beyonce has had blonde hair since forever, and her caramel complexion has become very light-skinned. And this is exactly another hypocrisy I call out. How is it that Beyonce bleached her skin, but Kelly Rowland didn't? No worries though, I'm going to have a whole video where I will show all of the photos of Kelly Rowland over the past 15 years. She says, Kelly Rowland was also mocked for being a Karen to a racist security guard. People immediately put pretty unambiguous darker skinned women into the bitch and angry role when they're not being the third wheel for someone else, mainly a lighter skinned woman or a white woman. So do you see how she's literally just making this up out of nowhere? Kelly Rowland was mocked for being a Karen. This channel has never talked about Kelly Rowland with the security guard. I don't even know what happened with that. I have no idea what's going on with that. I have no idea what's going on with the security guard. But notice how she randomly brings up they're mad when they're not being the third wheel for someone else, maybe a lighter skinned woman or a white woman. So are you saying you think the security guard was mad that Kelly Rowland was not on the side of some white woman? Because I'm pretty sure that's probably not what it was. Have you ever noticed how in the Black community, a lot of them will assume that other Black women are like automatically these sidekicks, or, you know, that's the position that they're supposed to play, or that's the position that they've always been throughout their entire lives. All I've done on this channel was literally repeat what Kelly Rowland herself said. Kelly Rowland was the one who said she felt like she was second best, or, you know, that Beyonce is a better music artist than her. That's what Kelly Rowland has said. And then she says, Kelly Rowland is giving main woman energy now and not sidekick. Many colorists and racists do not like it. So if you think that Kelly Rowland is not as good of an artist as Beyonce, you're a colorist and a racist. Also, it's funny how she says Kelly Rowland is giving main woman energy. Kelly Rowland is in a hypogamous marriage. If I'm not mistaken, her husband, who makes less money than her, is her career manager now. And I honestly feel like that has not really helped her career. I think that if she would have hired another manager that was not her husband, then maybe she would be better off. She says, another beautiful, unambiguous Black woman that gets a lot of hate is Normani. Many people write threads about how she's flopping and lie and say how darker-skinned women are not supporting Normani like they do other women. Okay, so she's talking about people writing threads on Lipstick Alley. Who is the main audience of Lipstick Alley? It's unambiguous, monoracial, darker-skinned Black women. So what does that have to do with Exotical YouTube channels? Like, why are you randomly bringing these YouTube channels into your opinions about Kelly Rowland? Do you see what I mean when I talk about people using you as the scapegoat? A lot of women who have inferiority complexes, they have this external locus of control. And so I've noticed that there's a tendency to blame their failures on random mixed women, random light-skinned women, random white women. Everybody else is making Kelly fail. These small-ass YouTube channels are humbling Kelly Rowland. And it's like, why are you going through all of these victim Olympics to make Kelly Rowland into a victim? Blackness is not a handicap. Dark skin is not a handicap. She's not a victim. Kelly Rowland is privileged. But she says many people write threads about how she's flopping, talking about Normani, and lie and say how darker skinned women are not supporting Normani like they do other women. Yet those same women slamming darker skinned women for not supporting their own are also silent when Summer Walker or Thames albums go #1. Or the fact that JT's solo song, OK, charted. Apparently, darker-skinned women do support one another. So since you guys do support one another, why are there so many complaints about how lighter-skinned women are taking over the industry? Why are you guys talking about Ice Spice and Cardi B and Sweetie and all of these other mixed-race or lighter-skinned artists? Why not celebrate and make YouTube videos or Lipstick Alley threads about the artists that are succeeding within your phenotype? She says, these exoticals use every little thing, real or imagined, to try to draw home the point that darker-skinned women are self-hating and not supporting one another when it's not true for all. So here she goes hitting with a not all argument. Anybody that's watched my channel or any of the channels in this space knows that we always say not all. Then she says, some of them want Black women like Kelly Rowland to stay in the shadows and background to people like Beyonce. Kelly Rowland is not even in Beyonce's back. She's not even on the same league as Beyonce musically, with all due respect. Kelly Rowland, I don't even know when the last time was that she made an album. I think that Kelly Rowland is actually on tour right now from what I've seen on social media, or she's like doing singing performances and stuff. So how is Kelly Rowland in the shadows of Beyonce when she's not even in the same field? She's just singing her songs from years ago and she's doing acting. So how is that being in the shadow of Beyonce? If anything, Kelly Rowland herself is the one that puts herself in the shadow or says that she's second best in terms of the group. Kelly Rowland said it. She says they don't want Kelly Rowland to think highly of herself or any beautiful, unambiguous, darker-skinned woman. So do you see the extreme projections? Like us creating channels that celebrate mixed-race women, or it celebrates women of lighter skin tones. It celebrates women who have keener features, women who might have lighter eye colors, or, you know, features that are not as common in the unambiguous, monoracial, dark-skinned Black African-American community. So we're not allowed to celebrate our phenotypes because that means, according to this person, that they don't want Kelly Rowland to think highly of herself or any beautiful, unambiguous, darker-skinned woman. So why is me celebrating myself and people like me, why is that me bashing you? I've never gone on this channel and said Kelly Rowland's ugly or these women suck or like, oh my God, look at how ugly they look. No, we're literally just celebrating ourselves and we are creating commentary about whoever we want. Other YouTube channels, they create commentary about biracial women. They create commentary about mixed women. They create commentary about light-skinned women all the time. And so notice how other channels with Nigerian content creators such as Queen Shama and I Am Eloho, they can talk about biracial women as much as they want. They can talk about whatever celebrities they want and give their commentary. But over here, we are not allowed to give celebrity commentary at all if she's an unambiguous black woman, because that means that we're humbling her. So my tiny YouTube channel is humbling a multi-million-dollar Grammy Award-winning artist because she's dark-skinned and because she's unambiguous. Oh, let's ignore the fact that I have dark-skinned women on my channel. Oh yeah, no, that doesn't go along with this girl's talking point, so notice how she left that out. Everything I'm doing is automatically to humble Kelly Rowland. She says, the fact that Kelly Rowland has gotten support and that her movie with Tyler Perry was the #1 on Netflix shows that people do support her, though there are many trying to paint her as a failure. And then she says, why do Exoticals get to openly hate on pretty unambiguous black women like Kelly Rowland? And then she's showing pictures of Kelly Rowland and Normani. So have you ever noticed that a lot of women, they can freely critique you? This actually reminds me of that Fanita girl where she freely critiqued that white guy. She said his lips were small or like his top lip was invisible or something like that. And then when he hit her back with a little jab, then suddenly it was extreme and, she can't take the heat. So I've noticed this rhetoric with some women where they can critique whoever they want. They can give their commentary on celebrities. They can say that women have deflated afros and struggle follicles. They can call them mediocre. They can pull up pictures. They can say, there are other people on this TV show that look better than you, Krishan Rock. So they can compare you directly to other people based on your skin tone and say, these other women look better than you. But if I come on here and I don't even say that, I've never even said Beyonce looks better, or like I've never even compared these women and said so-and-so other person looks better. But if I say this is my commentary on this particular artist, then suddenly we're hating on them and we're just being mean. We're trying to put them in their place. And it's like, well, what is your place? And who gave you that place? And why are you putting these channels on such a high pedestal to the point where you think that these channels have the power to humble a multi-million-dollar celebrity? This person says, I was in the Kelly thread shocked at how few people were supporting her, but then someone mentioned that Kelly isn't supported because Kelly has supported Chris Brown, and her lack of empathy towards other people means a lack of empathy towards her. Exactly. Kelly Rowland is in a hypogamous marriage. She likes to be in Tyler Perry movies. She supported Chris Brown when she was on an interview and they asked about Chris Brown's abuse and she was like, we love you, Chris Brown. So it was giving Kelly Price. I don't know what it is with the Kellys, but she was giving Kelly Price vibes where she's literally bigging up these abusers. So yeah, I don't really like those qualities, to be honest. I don't really like those personality qualities about Kelly in the past, or at least in her interviews. Yeah, I don't really like that either. She said, I actually kind of get that. I don't feel like it's just an exotic, hating on an unambiguous black woman thing. I think Kelly has made the wrong choices and been too male aligned. And so when she's going through it, people just think she has to deal with it on her own. Exactly. Kelly's the one who chose to get into that hypogamous marriage with that man who was working for them, basically. And she's the one who chose to make her husband her career manager. And if she didn't do that, maybe her career, as far as music, would be in a different level. He was nice to me for Chris Brown is pretty ignorant, so she can fight her own battles, I guess. So other unambiguous women are actually on Lipstick Alley agreeing with my talking points. This girl says, I understand from this point of view, but there are plenty of black women artists or even exoticals who have worked with Chris Brown and still support him. Do they get this same energy? Yeah, people bashed Cassie all the time. People have bashed Tinashe and said that she failed and her light skin privilege didn't work and all this other crap. I can't think of all the artists that have worked with Chris Brown, but people bash them as well. Someone said, why bring Exoticals into this? It was black women hating on her and sending hate to the few black women who defended her. Exactly. Why is she saying it like we're over here controlling everything? People put us literally on this goddess level pedestal. Like, oh my God, we're humbling multi-million-dollar celebrities. We're brainwashing people and we're controlling everything and putting people in their place. This girl says, I'm not going to promote anyone's YouTube channel, but plenty of Exoticals have made videos about Kelly Rowland. You can go look it up for yourself. They have definitely fed into the lies about her, and they have made threads in this colorism forum talking about her skin bleaching. First of all, if you don't like these YouTube channels, why do you continue to watch them? Do you see what I mean about how people with these inferiority complexes, they actually popularize the people that they hate by making videos on how much they dislike them, or, making entire threads and YouTube channels about them. My channel is actually not built on Black women celebrity commentary. I actually don't do that in every video. It's pretty rare. I probably should do it more though, because it's going to help the channel to keep on growing. But a lot of the Black YouTubers that you guys watch, Queen Shama, I Am Aloho, Chrissy, a lot of those women actually have made majority of their videos about mixed race celebrities or light-skinned celebrities or biracial celebrities, mixed race men, all these interracial relationships and their mixed race children. A lot of the hypergamy channels will use women like Lori Harvey as an example of a hypergamous queen, or they'll use examples like Marjorie Harvey. So these are all mixed women. So why is it that unambiguous Black women, they can make as much commentary as they want on mixed race women, but if mixed race women make commentary on Black women, it's automatically we're trying to put people in their place? And also, why would you think that? Like, what makes you think that unambiguous Black women need to, quote unquote, stay in their place? Like, what is their place? You're the one who's giving those anti-Black talking points. She says, it's apparent that something about Kelly Rowland strikes them the wrong way. I think it's the fact that she's an undeniable Black beauty. Nobody on here ever said that Kelly Rowland wasn't beautiful. I think Kelly Rowland's beautiful. I was one of the only people that said Francesca Rivers is beautiful. So we don't have a problem with people that are beautiful and living their best lives. And notice how she randomly brings up beauty. It's the fact that she's an undeniable Black beauty. Something about Kelly Rowland strikes them the wrong way. Okay, so it has nothing to do with Kelly Rowland calling herself second best and saying that she wanted Mariah Carey's skin tone and also admitting to being jealous of Beyonce. Has nothing to do with those things. Nothing to do with her promoting or defending Chris Brown. Oh no, it's because she's an undeniable Black beauty. And by the way, I don't deny Kelly Rowland's beauty. I think Kelly Rowland's drop dead gorgeous. So now what? She says, they cannot say her beauty is deemed exotic, like they do with Ryan Destiny and Justine Skye. Ryan Destiny and Justine Skye are mixed race. Kelly Rowland is monoracial. And I've noticed that a lot of these women, they think that we're just taking people who are pretty and saying that they are exotic. And when I use this slang term exotical that actually originated on Lipstick Alley, apparently, I got it from the comment sections of channels like Chrissy or Cynthia G, who used to be on YouTube, those types of channels. They were using that term to talk about women who were either mixed race or women who were monoracially Black but benefited from isms, so colorism, texturism, or featureism. And notice how she's the one who says that we think that beauty is you have to benefit from an ism. No, that's the Black community that does that. You guys do that all the time. You guys say she's only pretty because she's light-skinned. So a lot of you guys actually conflate light-skin privilege with pretty privilege. And I know that to be a fact because even if you watch YouTuber Ostefco, when she made that video called I Don't Have Pretty Privilege and That Sucks, she compared herself to her light-skinned friend, and then she went on to discuss how the way that she knew she didn't have pretty privilege was because her light-skinned friend got looked at in a bar and she didn't get looked at in the bar. So oftentimes when you ask unambiguous monoracial dark-skinned Black women to explain light-skinned privilege in their own personal lives, most of the time they either can't give an example at all, or they will simply say, so-and-so got more likes than me on a dating app. So-and-so, she got looked at in the bar and I didn't get looked at. And it's like, no, you're just conflating light skin privilege with pretty privilege. You think that her light skin is what makes her pretty. But she says they have been trying to label Kelly Rowland as jealous of Beyonce and that she hates her dark skin. This is what Kelly Rowland has said about herself. Okay, so we all know that even Tina Knowles had to get Kelly Rowland to sit in the sun when she was darker because Kelly Rowland used to avoid the sun, or she used to avoid going in the sun. Kelly Rowland herself has stated on her interviews about how she was unsure of her beauty due to her skin tone. She's openly admitted to wanting to be Mariah Carey's skin tone on her interviews. Please go and watch her interviews. And this is why I said that instead of walking off set, Kelly Rowland would actually be much better off not doing interviews because she is eating her own words every time. Almost everything that Kelly Rowland has said that has screwed herself over has been something she has said or done in an interview. The whole promoting Chris Brown or saying we love you, Chris Brown, that was in an interview. Saying that she wanted to be Mariah Carey's skin tone, that was in an interview. Saying that she felt second best to Beyonce, that was in an interview. So this is why I say that for social climbing purposes, because this is really a sociology type of channel, for social image purposes, it would actually be much better if Kelly Rowland were to stop doing interviews completely, because she keeps saying things to expose herself in these interviews. She says the fact that some Exoticals refuse to believe Kelly Rowland is due her own agency speaks to their insecurities. No one on this channel ever said Kelly Rowland shouldn't have agency. She says plenty of Exoticals hope and wish for a darker-skinned woman to have issues with her self-esteem and to hate on them. So notice how she completely ignores the fact that we actually have plenty of dark-skinned women on this channel and dark-skinned women with Exotical channels. And the only difference is those women have been accused of benefiting from things like texturism and featureism. So she's ignoring all of that, though. She's ignoring the fact that I literally have dark-skinned mixed women on here all the time, that this channel promotes that and unifies all of us across our different phenotypes. Nope, because that doesn't line up with her talking point that she's giving. She says, a beautiful black woman who is confident in herself and who doesn't hate on them or bow down is a threat to their existence. So notice how she's bringing up this concept of bowing down. Isn't that interesting? Have I ever been asked to be bowed down to at this point? So do you notice how people use their own words to ensnare themselves, and they literally expose themselves every time? Well, you think you're better than me. You just want me to bow down to you. Meanwhile, you've never said anything like that. She said they cannot label Kelly Rowland as ugly. They cannot call her bitter or angry. They're coming up with so many ways to get her canceled, and it's failing. Anybody who watches my channel knows that you can't actually cancel somebody. Cancel culture doesn't work. So all you can do is give your critique, and then that person will continue making music. The only way a person can get canceled is if they cancel themselves. Like if they quit the music industry, as Kelly Rowland has done, or they walk away from it, then they're really canceling themselves. But other than that, cancel culture actually doesn't work. So saying that we're trying to get Kelly Rowland canceled, that's categorically false, and it's also impossible. This person says the double standards are insane. If someone dared to challenge Cassie on thinking she was the upgrade on Kim Porter only to become Diddy's next victim, ow. People have challenged Cassie. There was that one lady who talked about how Cassie thought she was better than Kim Porter. So there are people who go against Cassie all the time. And there were people who said Cassie lied and that she deserved to get her ass beat and that she got the quote-unquote same black man. Should have chose better, Cassie, because you got the same black man. You got the same Pookie. She said she still managed to appear in videos with Rihanna and Karrueche's abuser. It appears that Cassie didn't empathize with the other woman's pain. It was still horrible what happened to Cassie by P. Diddy, yet it was also horrible what Rihanna went through with Chris Brown. Okay, so this person is basically trying to make the argument that we should cancel Cassie, or we should cancel any artist that was in a music video with Chris Brown, as if Cassie actually had control over her own career, as if a lot of these artists actually have control. Most of these music artists are really, their labels and stuff are who does their setups with like collaborations and stuff. So this person is trying to say that because Kelly Rowland openly supported Chris Brown, that she's on the same level as anybody who made a song with Chris Brown. And that's false. Even Tinashe came out and said, hey, that was just my label that wanted me to do a song with Chris Brown. I didn't want to do that. That's different than what Kelly Rowland did, which was, we love you, Chris, and, you know, straight up defending him after she was asked about Chris Brown's abuse. This person says, have you seen those new Exotical YouTube channels popping up? They're so pressed. On one side, they want to be accepted, but then white supremacy have them believing they're better than black people, while also having their self-image fucked up, and them needing acceptance and praise from someone. It's a laugh. The mental gymnastics the girls go through just to end up hypocritical and objectified is crazy. So we want to be accepted by white supremacy, according to who? Because last time I checked, the people who have the most internalized white supremacy are the ones who created these YouTube channels pushing us out, accusing us of, oh, you benefit from colorism or texturism or featureism. And so because of that, you don't have the same experience. Don't speak on behalf of unambiguous dark-skinned women. Don't speak about this. Don't speak about colorism. You're too light-skinned to talk about colorism. So who's the real white supremacist? Calling white men's dicks bubblegum peen and saying once you go Asian, your credit gets to raisin, as they do in the divestment community. bragging about how light-skinned your friends and family members are, bragging about having a light-skinned boyfriend, bragging about having mixed-race children. So who's the real white supremacist? This person says, boo, tomato, tomato. You're obsessed with exoticals and light-skinned women, OP. Not disagreeing that the YouTube exoticals did come for Kelly, but we know it's mostly unambiguous black women in Lipstick Alley and in that Kelly thread. And with the Normani threads too. I never heard folks accusing Kelly of skin bleaching because of her wearing that blonde wig. The fuck? That's a stretch, sis. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point as well. I mean, notice how other people in the unambiguous community, they're not the main ones talking about that. That means that people are actually listening to us. That means more people are listening to us than listening to themselves or, focusing on what they're saying online. So once again, your social power that you have, oftentimes other people are giving you this social power. They're projecting all of these grandiose things onto you. They're saying, oh, you just want people to stay in their place. You think you're better. You don't want this other person to be confident. Do you notice all the projection that's going on here? We've got dozens of threads about our channels at this point. It's like, how is it that we have such small channels and we're such a small space, yet people are talking about us so much? Exotical tax! Because now I get to make money by making a video on it. And I hope that more people make videos on these threads too. I love watching videos like this, where people are reading like Reddit threads or the Lipstick Alley threads. Also, Beyonce didn't bleach her skin, so stop insinuating that. You and other women need to get in your head that Beyonce is light-skinned, and when she is in lighter colors, it's gonna whiten her out. Yesterday, I was out and these two white dudes wearing some off-white shirts, and it made them look like ghosts. Y'all are ignorant to actual skin bleaching, and it's not a bad makeup job or someone wearing brighter than usual colors. Maybe if the diaspora wars did not exist, we would be more knowledgeable to skin bleaching. So this channel has actually promoted the most knowledge on skin bleaching out of all the other online black YouTube channels, and now people are saying, Exoticals United, you're promoting skin bleaching. Oh, okay, so apparently I'm not allowed to talk about skin bleaching. People are trying to shame me from exposing this because it's very difficult to really tell exactly what somebody is doing or how people are bleaching their skin if you're not a bleacher yourself. And so that's why I contacted actual skin bleachers. By the way, if you're a skin bleacher, please email me at exoticalsunited@gmail.com because I've already had my skin bleaching contact confirm that Kelly Rowland has in fact lightened her skin using glutathione and vitamin C IVs. You can get these done at your local IV spa. Obviously, it's very expensive if you want to use them to actually lighten your skin, but because Kelly Rowland is rich, these people, they can afford to pay $200 per day to get these IV drips and lighten their skin from within using glutathione, which is really just an antioxidant. And glutathione, you can get glutathione stores in your body by eating fruits. So, yeah. So that's why a lot of people, when they drink fruit smoothies, they notice that their skin looks very bright and clear. Yeah, that's because of the glutathione stores that are being raised in your body from the fruit smoothies. Then this girl says, this is not about Beyonce, but Kelly. Yet, sure, Beyonce didn't skin bleach? Do you think I don't know about how light or dark some light skins can get? You're fooling yourself if you think these two skin tones can naturally happen depending on weather to the same person. Okay, so then if Beyonce bleached, then Kelly Rowland damn sure bleached because Beyonce's difference in skin tone is much smaller than the difference in skin tone with Kelly Rowland. She said, you're probably a darker skinned woman defending colorists as well. So have you noticed how they try to hide behind colorism, texturism, featureism, or racism to silence you if you have a different opinion? So if you happen to be light-skinned and you happen to critique Kelly Rowland, just like how you critique other people, then suddenly you must be a colorist. So it's like you're not allowed to give a different opinion than an unambiguous black woman because if you do, then you're a colorist or you're defending colorists. She said, how do you know the majority of users on Lipstick Alley are dark-skinned women? You will be shocked to know the truth. So what she's trying to say is, Lipstick Alley is full of exoticals. Lipstick Alley is all light-skinned women. We're all light-skinned on here. And so having light skin gives us more power to talk badly about Exoticals United and all of these other channels because we're light-skinned. So do you see her internalized colorism coming out? Somebody else said, making them the villains of every story is not only false, but it's getting boring now. Yeah, I've noticed that usually channels that talk about exotical channels, anybody who is not a fan of these types of channels, they'll just click the do not watch on YouTube or do not recommend, which I actually, yes, please do that. Like if you're not a part of this core audience, feel free to block my channel, feel free to unsubscribe, because my channel is not for everybody. And I don't want a bunch of people on here who don't support what we're actually doing. So feel free to unsubscribe if you don't like the channel. And one thing I've noticed is that anytime another channel or another content creator talks about this space, people eventually are going to get bored with it, because people who actually don't like our space don't really care. They're just minding their own business. They're just going to watch their YouTube channels that they actually like. They're not worried about what we're doing over here. And this is why I say that these people are actually fans. They're fans of the channel, which is why they can't stop watching all of us, because they like our content. But anyway, what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.